consider with function point analysis. Function point analysis considering the following: an ILF consisting of employee information can be updated with EIs. So EI is what can do with EI. EI can create the employee, delete the employee, or update the employee. So these are the three things that can be done by the EIs. What is it? EIs, and then update, and then delete. So these are the three operations that can be done by the EI, that is external input. And then what is the next one? An EQ. EQ permits display of current employee information. So what is EQ? EQ is external inquiries. A telephone consisting of, so what is it? EQ. So EQ will consist of current employee information. Next one is a telephone listing produced monthly with the calculated total of employees by site is calculated with an EVO. So what is EVO? EVO is your what? External output. What is your output? The calculated number of employees. Calculated number of employees will be an output. Next, telephone listing includes the data retrieved from a personal file maintained by another application, EIF, external interface file. So these are the five things that have been given. So what is ILF? Internal logic file. So internal logic file consists of employees information. Okay, so what is it? So we need internal logic file, external inputs, external output, and then external inquiries, and then the external input interface files. Okay, so what is the question here? Compute the complexity of EVO, consider the complexity of EVO as media. What is it? Employee, that is external output, will be considered as a medium and all other as a low. Okay, so what is our given question? So from the given question, what is EI? EI is external input. What the external input can do? It can create, update, and delete. So these three functions can be done by the thing. So EI, so it is, the count is 3. And what about EVO? So EVO will be counted as EVO, that is they calculate the employee is telephone list. So that is the output. So it is only 1. And what about the user inquiries? It displays the information from the site. Okay, that is what is your thing. So it is 1. And what about the internal logic files? Internal logic files is 1. So internal logic files, ILF consists of informations. Updated information alone will be in the ILF. So I am considering as a one single count. External interface files, that will be considered as a 1. So because from the file you are taking a function. So there is no other function which is represented over here. And next one is your question. What is your question? Consider the complexity of EVO as medium. Consider the complexity of EVO as medium and others as low. Okay, so complexity of EVO is average and others are low. So what is here? The formula, that is the calculation for the calculation. So the function point of tabulation. So function point tabulation, we have 5 different categories. All these 5 different categories, you have a complexity with the low, average, and complex. So consider this is your count. So what is your count? So in your previous section you have seen with what is EI. EI is 3 and it is an average, except EVO, all others, it is a medium or average. All others are low. Okay, so all others are low. So we have given that. So what is it? 3. So we can, EI is external input. External input means you can create, delete, and update. So these are 3 functions which can be done by the EI. So we have a 3 count. All others are represented as 1. So it is 3 into 3. It is 3 into 3. And then 1 into 5. So it is EVO as medium. All others are low. low complexity. So 3 into 3 it is 9, and then 1 into 5, so it is 1 into 5 it is 5, and then 1 into 3 it is 3, and then what is 1 into 7, and then 1 into 5. So what is it called? UAF, that is unadjusted function point, it is 29. So now what you have to do, you have to calculate the CAF. So CAF calculations, there is complexity adjustment factor value. What is complexity adjustment factor value? So this is the formula for calculating the complexity adjustment factor value. So it is 0.65 into 0.01 into summation of Fi. So from the given question, there is no Fi value was specified. If the value was specified for summation of Fi, then you can substitute it. Else here you have to consider 14 points. That is, based on the 14 points, you have to calculate the value of CAF. So here I am just concerned that CAF is 14. All the points which is given as equivalent value. So it is 14 into 1. 14 into 1. So it is 14. So now you have to calculate the value of CAF. So CAF 0.65 plus 0.01 into 14. So it is 0.79. So you have to calculate the function point. So what is function point? Unadjusted function point into complexity adjustment factor value. What is it? 0.79 into, so we have calculated the UFP as 29. So it is 22.91. So which is approximately equal to 23. So this is what is your function point analysis. Okay, so what is it? So you have to give the definition for function point analysis, and then you have to give the tabular column. What are the 5 factors? That is 5 factors. That is EI, and then EO, EQ, ILF, then EIF. Okay, so these are the 5 factors. You have to explain all the 5 factors. So in all the find the 5 factors, and then you have to give the tabular column, that is table of complexity for all the 5 factors. And then what about the next one? You have to explain the formula. So this is what is your CAF. So for this question you have to do it. Okay, so for this question you have to do it. So what is it? What is function point analysis? You have to explain the theory form. Once theory form has been explained, you have to solve this formula. So just read the question once or twice from your given assignment, and then just find the answer.